Hi, I'm Scott Lane from Dark Horse Flyer. There's a lot of passion and interest in guitars across the country, and we have that same passion in Dark Horse Flyer. We're going to show you some of the best luthier guitars made known to man. We're entering what we now call the Guitar Vault. Here we go. Hi, welcome to this segment of the Guitar Vault. I'm Scott Lane from Dark Horse Flyer, and today we have a special guitar we're going to show you. And it's a Archtop guitar, originally started and invented by Orville Gibson in 1890. He's the sole guy that can claim fame of developing the Archtop guitar. And it was developed around the style and the science, if you will, of violin shapes, of cello shapes, and mandocellos. So he took those concepts of how those instruments generated sound and converted it into the guitar. And it remained a very, very strong, solid guitar model for the 1900s, the early 1900s to 1950, 1960, etc. In today's world, a lot of jazz musicians play Archtop guitars. And right now, let's go over this particular one because it's a special one. Okay, this is a John Buscarino guitar. John is a Archtop builder, has been for about 31 years. I think this year is John's 31st anniversary of making guitars. And his specialty is this particular Virtuoso model that he has modeled after the Benedetto guitars of the years gone by. And John makes all kinds of guitars, but his specialty is this particular Archtop model. And this one is a special model because it was a collaboration of myself, John, and the inlay artist that I love, Larry Robinson from California, in making what we've named the Tree of Life guitar. And Tree of Life guitars are not uncommon. A lot of makers and a lot of builders have used that name to call their guitars Tree of Life because there is some significance and respect being paid back to the woods that come from the trees to create the guitars. I like to think of this a little bit deeper than that, and I'll explain the story. And when I came up with the idea of my Tree of Life guitar, I went with John and Larry and I said, this is what we want to do. We want to specify certain woods. We want to specify the look. We want to create an inlay design for it. And John came up with the idea of creating a carving on the guitar, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But the Tree of Life to me meant something special. It not only meant that the trees give us life in terms of oxygen and stuff like that for people who walk the planet. But when the decision is made to turn them into woods of either furniture or in this case guitars, they sacrifice themselves and become another thing giving life to an instrument such as this one. Well, I take it a few steps further. And not only does the tree give life to the instrument, but the instrument gives inspiration and life to music for the player who plays the instrument. And not only that, but the listener of the song that's created has life to the feelings that they get from the music that's being played. So I look at it as a very big circle of life type of thing, and that's why I wanted to come up with my own theme around the Tree of Life concept. So let's look at the guitar in detail. Archtops, as I told you, are different than your typical acoustic guitar. They start by looking at bigger blocks of wood from the raw state, and they end up carving them. So this entire top, as you'll see in close-ups, is curved and arched, and that is done through carving. at different thicknesses, different heights. So they start with a level piece of wood, and then they bevel it, curve it, arch it, and make different sounds, because not all, this happens to be a spruce top, and not all spruce woods are created equal, nor is the thickness, nor is the carving of the wood. So what the luthier has to do during the manufacturing process is tone tap this particular top wood in different places as they're making it and as they're carving it, so they can generate a consistent tone throughout the soundboard. So that's done through experience, through artistic know-how, and ear. They are able to tell by tapping it in different areas of the wood if they've achieved the right thickness and the right arch in the actual soundboard. So this is a particular spruce, a Carpathian spruce it's called, and it has a bear claw, slight bear claw marking on it, which I find aesthetically pleasing. It looks a little different figures throughout the spruce, if you will. This is a very intricate, detailed, these are called F-holes, as you remember from violins and things like that. These are called F-holes, but what makes them special is they are bound with a curly koa wood inside, and that's what gives them the darker brown look on the inside of the F-hole. Talking about the rest of the top of the guitar, this is a hand-carved ebony bridge. This is an ebony pickguard that John designs and makes. And then we have an ebony fingerboard all the way up top. The headstock is a black ebony veneer on the headstock, and it's surrounded by curly koa, just like the F-holes, just like the binding around the guitar sides. The back and the side woods are made from what's called big leaf maple, and it's the quilted pattern design. As you can see, it kind of looks like a series of clouds on the guitar in the wood itself. And this is known as the quilted pattern, and it happens to be a highly figured version of that. One aspect of the back of the guitar that's really, really special, if you look at it up close, you'll see that there's a carving. This is called a relief carving, meaning that it's not carved into the wood, but it's a raised portion on top, if you will. So this carving is about a 1/16 of an inch thick on top of the regular part of the guitar. It's all two pieces of wood, one side and the other side, and this is curved also. The back is curved on an Archtop guitar, and this curving allows the back to be very, very strong, so it doesn't require any bracing on the inside. But what happens with this particular shape is it creates a parabolic reflector. So it kind of generates sound outward, and it pushes sound outward. And that's what makes the mid-range tone that is famous for Archtop type guitars. We have a 3-piece maple neck, and the maple used on the neck this happens to be a flame maple on the two sides. The center strip is a bird's eye maple, and then those are koa pinstripes down the side of the laminations inside of that. This happens to be a myrtle burl veneer background, and you can see my little insignia inlay that Larry makes for me. That's the heart within a circle, which is kind of like the circle of life type of meaning for me personally. These are Gotha tuners, and they have snakewood buttons on them, which are really ornate and beautiful. And this is the actual tree of life design that I came up with for Larry to make. He made some alterations to it, some different shapes on the trunk to make it flow better, and then he did an exquisite job of making the inlay. Larry also designed some leaves, like from the tree, that he inlaid and outlined in gold. And this is a special little feature that John Buscarino did for me as well. And this is a sound port, so whoever's playing the guitar can hear the sound coming from the guitar this way. And it's a unique leaf design that he came up with, and he hand carved that into the side of the guitar. So that's the Tree of Life guitar. It's a beautiful instrument. It's extremely light for being a carved archtop guitar. It just it has an amazing tone to it, and it's truly one of a kind, and it's part of the Dark Horse Flyer Guitar Vault. Remember, subscribe to our channel, click like below, and share it with your friends. This is Scott Lane from Dark Horse Flyer, signing off for now. We'll see you next time.